Hi Libras, welcome to your general scope for the week of April 3rd, 2017. I'm doing the weekly first because I still have time for the monthly for the April 2017 general scopes for you. So figure I get this one out of the way and then I'll get to the monthlies. What else is going on? Okay, so for the week of April 3rd, on April 9th, Mercury goes in retrograde, and that is the planet of communication. So for some of you who are not familiar with that, this takes place April 9th, so it takes effects 2 weeks prior to the beginning or the start of Mercury going retrograde, and 2 weeks after. It does linger after it ends. So it does linger. And what goes on is your computers kind of start acting up and getting funky with you, which I experienced when I did the week of March 27th videos. I had such a hard time. I was feeling the effects of Mercury already, and so that's why it was out late, and I wanted to get it out sooner. I wasn't able to because I was having some complications. So what else goes on is your cell phones also start acting up and getting funky with you as well. What else goes on? Communication, anything regarding communication just goes array. So there's going to be miscommunication. So even when you text, there's going to be a miscommunication. And when you text, when you communicate with someone, when you're talking with somebody, someone's going to get construed. Something's going to get messed up. There's going to be miscommunications in that. There is more arguments and fighting as well. And there's more accidents on the road, car accidents on the road, when Mercury in retrograde. Mercury goes in retrograde. So just a few things. I'm not sure when it ends. I have to find out about that, but I'll get more into that when I do the monthly. But for now, this is what is going on. So just be aware of that, and let's get started with you. We end up real nicely for the week. Let's see. So we start off with the Page of Swords. This is a card of truth. Swords are truths. You could be cutting through the bull right now with an immature person, because this is also a card of immaturity. You could be dealing with an immature person, the way they think, the way they communicate with you. So you're cutting through the bull with that. Also, you could be dealing with your own child. You could be dealing with the child of somebody else. What else is? You could also be receiving some news as well coming through. Could be premature news. You don't have all the facts. So that could kind of be going on as well. Pardon me, they're just getting a little bit irritated. So any one of those could be going on for you at this time, and this is the beginning of the week. Maybe you're also not quite sure, you're not feeling quite sure of yourself at the beginning of the week as well. It could be that. The next card we have is the Karma card. And that's just what it is. So you got good karmic energy at the beginning of the week as well. Next card we have is the Eight of Swords. Now this is a card of restriction or feeling restricted. And this could be in regards to the way someone thinks about you or communicates with you. So like I said, be careful. This is, Mercury is going to be going in retrograde, so the effects will be there before it even hits. And so watch the way you communicate and the way you think about somebody else, and vice versa. But you want to pay close attention to this card as well, Libras, because you could be putting yourself in a restrictive state at this time, or somebody else could be putting you in this restrictive state in the way they're thinking about you and the way they're communicating with you. And you just want to notice, and I say this just because this lady could not bind herself. Somebody else had to have done that to her. So that's why I say usually it's the other way around. It's where the way somebody else is thinking or communicating to you. because she can't bind herself. It's somebody else did this to her. Okay. But it's just in a nutshell, it's being in a restrictive state at this time, and that's about midweek. But like I say, the cards don't necessarily mean the day of the week. It's energy flows. Next card we have is the Six of Cups, where in balance and harmony at this time. That's what the sixes represents, balance and harmony. This is also a card of nostalgia, so you may be feeling a bit nostalgic at this time, and or okay, well, let's just get this one out of the way. You could be feeling or sensing or seeing or smelling something that brings you back to your childhood, a nostalgic state. Or you could be going back to your neighborhood where you grew up at and visiting that place and, you know, being quite nostalgic about that. Or this could be, and this is basically what readers end up predicting, is someone coming in from your past. So somebody that you haven't seen for a very long time, haven't communicated with this person in a very long time, coming back into your life. And usually when they do, it's about mending old wounds, so just be aware of that. Or, you know, just catching up. So any one of those things could be going on at this time. Next card we have is the Temperance card. You may be getting your feet wet, testing the waters of something. What else is going? This is a card of patience. So you might have patience or need to have patience with the person. If there's a person coming back into your life, you might have to have some patience with that person. Or, see, that makes sense too with somebody coming back. We're going back to this. It makes sense because it could be in the past that whoever, if there's a person coming back into your life from your past that had put you in a restrictive state. So you're going to be healing old wounds from that. So you might have to have patience with this person and lots of it. But there is a promise coming to you with the rainbow. With the rainbow here. I'm not sure what that promise will be, but just have patience. This is also about going with the flow and balance. This is a card of balance as well. So you don't want to resist. You don't want to resist yourself in anything. And I want to say anything because not necessarily with this, not necessarily with the person who may be coming back into your life and we're healing old wounds, but with anything else that's going on in your life during this week at this time too. You don't want to resist anything. You want to go with the flow of things, because when you resist, you start restricting yourself. Haha. Eight of Swords. Okay. You want to go with the flow, the least resistance. It'll flow much easier for you. You'll get to wherever you need to go a lot faster if you do. So this card is of patience, okay, and of going with the flow. Next card we have is the Queen of Swords. You may be dealing with someone who is quite blunt, very truthful and honest, and you actually like this person because they're so truthful and honest with you. And this could be a person who you go to for advice because she's so truthful and honest. This is a righteous card, so it could be righteous energy for this week as well, if it is not a person. But what else is going on? This is a person who rules more in the head than in the heart. Thinks very logically. It could be what can I say? I want to say Aquarius, but I'm not sure if that's right. But air sign. What else is going on? See, if it was in reverse, and I say this could be the person that put you in this restrictive state too, but this is in an upward position. So, but righteous energy nonetheless, truthful energy. This is also about cutting through the bull as well. This person does not run around the bush. This could be you in a more mature state of mind and the way you think as well, and the way you communicate. You could have grown, and you could have grown out of the Eight of Swords to a more mature state, and now the way you're thinking and you're speaking, and being more truthful, not holding back anymore, not being so restrictive. You know, go ahead and spit that truth, girl or guy. So any one of those things could be going on with that card. It's pretty in-depth, that one. Last card we have is the Ten of Cups. So you're at an emotional point of completion. Happy home life, happy family life. This is the happily ever after card. So there is emotional bliss. So like I said, emotional completion for you. Not much more, just happily ever after in that card. So let's kind of recap here. You could be cutting through some bull right now. Some truth may be coming your way. Some truthful news could be coming your way, or any type of news could be coming your way. It could be a little bit immature though, and you don't have quite have all the facts yet. But it could be you dealing with an immature person, or you're just not feeling quite confident and mature yourself at the beginning of the week. You may be feeling a little bit reserved. Or you could be dealing with your own child or the child of somebody else. But it is also a card of new beginnings. So new beginnings in the way probably you think and communicate. Or the beginning of some type of news that's coming your way and putting all the pieces of the puzzles together. You're in a good karmic energy at the beginning of the week as well. But then you get into a point, a state where you're restricted, and it could be the way others is thinking or communicating to you, which is where I kind of feel that pulls from, making you feel really restricted. Or you could have put yourself in that place, in that position, in a way you think and communicate with other people. And like I said, watch out, because Mercury retrograde. So please watch the way you think and watch the way you communicate. Just especially watch the way you communicate toward other people. You could feel a bit nostalgic as well, but you're in a place of balance and harmony about midweek, and you're gonna probably have to have a lot of patience. You're gonna have to have a lot of patience that's about weekend. And it could be with dealing with other people, again, that Mercury retrograde, or just dealing with everything in general. You want to go with the flow as well. You could be testing some waters as well. Then you're going to probably be dealing with, or you could be dealing with, someone who is so blunt and honest and truthful. But you like this person for their bluntness and their honesty and their truthfulness, and this is probably somebody who you go to for advice. Or you could be bringing yourself out of that restriction and to a place of truth, honesty, and being blunt yourself. Bringing yourself into that mature level. Or just could be righteous energy at this time for you, and that is on the weekend as well. But you end out the week with emotional completion, very beautiful, happy home life, happy family life, and a very happily ever after. So you end the week beautifully as a happily ever after. Okay, so that brings us to the end. I thank you for watching. So not bad, that's pretty good. I love the way you end out the week. Just watch how, yes, again, how you think, how you communicate with other people. Just go with the flow. As well. So I wish you a fabulous week. I'm sorry I've been doing a lot of these. I will see you for the monthly, and just remember, it takes two to tarot, and I bid you aloha.